Peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings. Our story begins with our protagonist Shigeru, an ugly young man with a very unattractive appearance. This is something normal for him, and he accepts it with pride, even though anyone who sees him laughs at him. Our protagonist Shigeru works at an ordinary company and his manager exploits his ugly looks to boost his own sales. And our protagonist Shigeru really loves his job and wants to spread joy to the faces of all the customers he meets, refusing to give in to despair. And since he doesn't look good, it's only natural that girls aren't interested in him. But he never cared about that, and he always lived his life completely normally. And one day, while he was on the train, something happened that completely changed his way of thinking. A woman accused him of trying to harass her, even though he was innocent and hadn't done anything to her. And of course, because of his ugly appearance, everyone believed that liar and kicked him off the train in a humiliating way, because no one ever believes someone who looks bad. Everyone in this world treated him with utter cruelty. The matter went to court and he was sentenced to pay a fine even though he was innocent. That was the blow that destroyed his life. He was also fired from his job after a few years. Later they arrested the lying woman and it turned out that Shigeru was innocent. But by then, time had passed and his life was completely ruined, and he walked away, saddened by his life. He saw some kids bullying an ugly-looking child, and that made Shigeru certain that being ugly is a curse in this world and brings suffering to its owner. Because of all the lies that were told about him, he could no longer live a normal life. And in every job interview, he would get nervous. So of course his life got even worse, and people started to see him as completely crazy and began treating him like he was insane. Especially since Shigeru has communication problems, and after that, he decided to isolate himself from the world until he dies. But while he was sitting at his computer, he read a post talking about people who disappear, and when he opened the comments, he found someone saying that he went to another world, and if he wanted to return to the original world, he would lose half his lifespan. Of course, he didn't believe it, but deep down inside, he wished he could live a new life in another world. He tried his luck and performed the ritual to transfer to another world. And suddenly a notification popped up on his computer telling him that if he went to the other world and then decided to come back, he would really lose half his lifespan. Shigeru thought at that moment that someone had hacked his computer and was just messing with him. But when he clicked next, a screen appeared showing his name and age. He was also given the option to choose his new appearance, meaning he could change his appearance and become handsome in the other world. But our protagonist was foolish and entered a large negative value, which gave him more than 10,000 extra points. And every time he sacrificed something, he would get more points. He could also write special notes, so he decided to restrict himself in the new world to get even more points. He wrote that his weaknesses included losing 10% of his lifespan if he touched a girl, and that his body would be torn apart if he decided to get close to his daughter and have a relationship with her, and that gave him more than 100 trillion points. Of course, he was supposed to distribute these points to his skills. But unfortunately, time ran out, the screens shut off, and suddenly he disappeared from his place. And when he opened his eyes, he found himself in the other world and was shocked by his appearance, which had become worse than how he looked in the real world.